If I could give one piece of advice to newer expecting parents, it would be to get on the same page about the mental load and the work required to navigate parenting. And I know this doesn't sound sexy or fun, but I wish people had more conversations about the nitty gritty details and the work that goes into being parents. Because I think a lot of people think about how they're going to care for their child or parenting styles, but they don't talk about things like who's going to fold the laundry and who's going to wash the pump parts and who's going to get up overnight for the next year to 3 years, who is going to refill the diaper bag every time it's low. Like, we don't have those conversations. And I bring this up because I saw this article that came out, I think it was on Scary Mommy, that said, is it normal for every new mothers group to turn into marriage counseling, essentially, for women to come there and vent about how hard their marriages are and how unfair it is and how much they do, but their partner doesn't do, and how their partner doesn't see the work that they're doing? Is this normal? And unfortunately, I hear this all the time that, in these new moms groups, one of the biggest things that these women are dealing with is their partner's inaction or how unfair the dynamic is. And what is so interesting about this is I get messages every single day from women about the mental load and these dynamics and how resentful they feel towards their partner. And almost always they will say, like, my husband is a good guy and we had a great marriage. Everything felt really, really fair. And then we had kids. And then everything seemed to become my responsibility. I became responsible for every sick day and every doctor's appointment and every bottle and every sleep schedule. And all of it was mine. I have to answer everyone's questions about this baby. And he just gets to show up for the fun stuff and he doesn't understand why I'm burnt out and resentful. And these women have a really hard time talking to people in their lives about it because they feel ashamed that they've ended up in this place and they don't know how it happened because they married the good guy, the good dad, right? And I want to just say first and foremost, like, if you've ended up in that position, you're not alone. It happened, and it happened somewhat by design because systemically and societally, like, we push this on women and we tell men that they're doing a great job when all they've done is changed like a handful of diapers, right? And so if I could give advice to expecting parents, new parents, it would be to have these conversations, talk about these things, the really nitty gritty things, talk about the mental load and emotional labor and who's doing all of the work that goes into being a parent, because there's endless amounts of work and so often it falls to women. And I really truly think, like, there's a book written that says how not to hate your husband after having kids, because it is such a common thing and it happens so quickly in parenting. But if we're proactive and we have conversations and our partners also are willing and able to do this work with us, I really do think we can avoid these dynamics. But if we go into it thinking everything's going to work out and we don't have these conversations, it is very, very easy to fall into a position where mom is carrying a bulk of the mental load and the work of managing kids, and dad's life has changed a little bit, but overall he still has a life, he still has a job and hobbies and all these things, time to rest, and she's sitting over there burnt out. So anyways, if you could do one thing before having kids, it would be get on the same page about the mental load.